All right, this is Letters from Hillside Farm, Week 8, Day 2. April 23rd, 1938, Saturday. Dear Grandma, last night we had our spelling bee at school. Everyone from the community was invited, and I think most of them came, along with lots of folks from the Forest Grove School District. Forest Grove School is only a couple hills and 3 bends in the road away. With all of our practicing, our team thought we could spell just about any word that came along. Miss Harvey set the starting time for 8 o'clock so everyone could have time to finish their evening chores. When 8 o'clock at night. When Pa, Ma, Annie, and I got there at 7:30, cars were already lined up on both sides of the road. Pa said it looked like a Christmas program crowd, but I've never been to a school Christmas program, so I don't know what that's like. A lot of parents were there, and I spotted Grandma Woodward sitting close to the front of the room. When Miss Harvey saw me, she took my arm and introduced me to the spelling team from Forest Grove School, 2 girls, Violet, Joyce, and a boy named Herman. Grandma, I thought the kids in our school were poor, but you should have seen these kids. Herman's flannel shirt was so faded it didn't even have any color on it. His worn-out bib overalls came halfway up his knees because they were too small for him. I tried not to smile when I saw this big, tall, gawky-looking kid in the high-water pants. I'm glad he didn't, because that would have been mean. That's what Paul calls pants that are too short, high-water pants. He means they're so short they'll stay dry even in a flood. The girls' clothes weren't any better. Their dresses had been washed so many times that they had no color at all. Well, I took one look at this threesome and figured our team wouldn't have much trouble at this spelling bee. It looked to me like these kids were having trouble finding enough to eat. Oh man, that's not very nice. I wonder if he's I guess you could say that without being mean. And they surely must not have time to practice for a spelling bee. At 8, Miss Harvey stood up and welcomed everyone to our school. She spoke for a while about how important it is to know how to spell and I was so nervous I don't remember what else she said. Then she introduced Miss Johnson, a plump woman with black hair and big arms. Miss Harvey said Miss Johnson was from the county superintendent's school office and was going to read the words to be spelled. Miss Johnson wore a dress all plastered with big red flowers. She looked like something was painting her. Maybe that flower dress was too tight. Huh. Honestly, can't imagine a boy writing that, but that's okay. I guess kids can just say whatever. Miss Harvey introduced the Forest Grove School spelling team, and their teacher, Miss Zielinski, finally introduced Amos, Rachel, and me. Grandma, my stomach was churning. I knew this team was no competition for us, but I was still scared. What frightened me the most was standing up in front of so many people. I'm going to predict that they are way better than them because he keeps saying things like, I didn't think we would have anything to be worried about. What frightened me the most was standing up in front of so many people. Every seat in the school was taken. Men were standing all around the wood stove in the back and clear out the entry doors. Our guests got the first chance to spell. Miss Johnson pulled down her tight dress, cleared her throat, and in a voice that sounded like she was sitting on a tack, she said the first word, library. Violet from Forest Grove stood up and spelled in a thin voice, could scarcely hear, spelled Library. Miss Johnson asked her to repeat it in a louder voice, and poor Violet was so nervous I saw her hands shaking. Correct, Miss Johnson said after she heard this spelling the second time. Compared to Violet, Miss Johnson's voice seemed to hit the ceiling and bounce all around the room. Now it was our team's turn, and Amos was first. Whistle, Miss Johnson said. Wistle, spelled Amos. Whistle hadn't been one of our practice words, and Amos spelled it like it sounded. Incorrect, said Miss Johnson. Amos stammered, but, Miss Johnson told him to sit down. Amos was steaming. His face was as red as a male cardinal, and he was pounding a fist against his head. Oh, good. Not very nice. I don't know. George isn't being very kind to the kids who don't have clothes. Joyce from Forest Grove got whistle right without even stopping to think. I began wondering if this team was going to be the pushover that I had thought. After a few more rounds, just two of us remained unbeaten, Joyce from Forest Grove and me. The next word was liaison. I spelled Layson, but Miss Johnson said it was wrong. The only chance our team had was if Joyce misspelled it too. She stood up and fidgeted a little bit. Liasion. Incorrect, Miss Johnson said. Then she told us the correct spelling was Liaison. Since our teams were tied, Miss Johnson said we would do one more round of spelling to see if there would be a winner. It was Joyce's turn to go first. Predictions, do you think they're going to win? You think George will get it? Let's see. I think the girl's going to get it. The word is chalice. Miss Johnson pronounced it twice and even gave its definition. A holy cup used in a church service. I had never heard of the word before, and I tried to think how I would spell it in case Joyce missed it. Joyce really took her time spelling the word. C-H, she took a deep breath, A-L-I-C-E. Now it's your turn, young man, Miss Johnson told me. I spelled it S-H-A-L-L-I-C-E. When I finished, I glanced at Miss Harvey, and from the look on her face, I knew I got it wrong. Forest Grove School wins the spelling bee, Miss Johnson announced in her big voice. Her dress started to creep up above her knees again. Congratulations to the winner and to the losers, too. I think we've all learned a little bit something about spelling this evening. That was it. We lost. On our way to the car, I saw Amos Woodward's pa yelling at him and cuffing him on the head. I heard Grandma Woodward telling Amos that he had tried and that she was proud of him. She spotted me and told me what a good job I had done too, but I still went home feeling terrible. Ma said I had done well just by being on the team, but I learned more than how to spell chalice. Those poorly dressed kids from Forest Grove School sure know how to spell. Your grandson, George. P.S. I'm so wrapped up in spelling that I had to look at my name twice to see if I spelled it right. That's funny. Sorry, it's kind of blurry. Alright, so now for my history journal. I actually have quite a few little things, connections here, or not connections so much as I do. So, this is week 8, day 2, 1. George. Oh, I forgot to put letters from Hillside Farm. I'm going to underline that. George is on the spelling team for his school with Amos and Rachel. I think it's R-A-C-H-E-L. Or is it A-E-L? R-A-C. R-A-C-H-E-L. I was right. Period. So I've got capitals for the names. And mark +2. Number 2. George notices, oops, the forest grove school kids don't very nice clothes. So he thinks they won't be good spellers. Forest Grove is capitalized. Got my period and my capital for George. +2. 3. Amos is the first Jeez Louise. Sorry, guys. Not trying to make you sick this morning. Amos is the first student out of the spelling bee. Is the spelling BBE or what would they call it? Yeah, it's BEE, like the insect. Sorry. Us too. Number 4. The forest grove kids, all spelled very well, and they won the spelling bee. Capital for that, and my end mark. My last one's going to be kind of long. Here's my last one, number 5. I was shocked. George judged how the kids were dressed because he doesn't like how Amos picks on him. That's my connection. I just feel like he should have, I mean, even though I think they're kind of just showing that people, no matter what, and my capitals here and my end mark. I think maybe the author's probably trying to show us that even though George is like got, you know, a lot of great strengths, he's still a kid, and kids have a tendency, and even adults, I shouldn't say just kids, people have a tendency to judge people by the way they look. So interesting that he did that. All right, we're done.